What did he say? He said, yeah. Let's fucking go! Previously on Kimba TV. Did I hear that correctly? You watching the 49K level? No, I probably will wait until the 50-51 Swabe. So yes, if it's a structural edge and with no poor highs, then yes. The only problem is Swabe is it's rare that it will play out a Kimba crown without CME. So that's whatever you decide to do over the weekend, you basically have to commit to the idea that the CME is getting front ran. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Come on, Big Pimpin'. How we doing? Who juicing? Who juicing like Jamba Juice? Boy, happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday, y'all. I don't know how many, again, I already planned for it. I hope you guys are good to go. Let's get nasty. What was the target for S&P? What was the target for the S&P juice? What was the target for the S&P juice? Let's get nasty. Let's get nasty. Let's get nasty. Get nasty. Get nasty. Papato, what's going on? JIK, what's going on? Cyper, what's going on? Hackdog, Navio, Left Lane Larry, Kessa's nailed it. Tweaked Twiglet, Tough Gnome, Assaker says, we already know where the long TP is and we already know where we try the short. There you go, Bugatti boys, let's get nasty. Howell Shot, Ghost BTC says, Hawaii Prophecy for sure. Can I get a Kimba Bugatti? If you know about the Hawaii Prophecy, y'all. Uh-oh. Maui, that's crazy. Oh yeah, his name is Maui. And guess what? I'm going to Maui. Get nasty! Let's go. Well, I'm not gonna be here tomorrow, but yes, today I have to wrap up the stream at around maybe market close. And then tomorrow is CPI. I'm gonna be starting the stream mad early. Are you guys down? Are you guys prepared? Deep says, people still on 38K long? Oh yeah, Deep. Yeah, make sure you get caught up on the Friday highlights, Deep. I mean, you could really get caught up on like last week's highlights. Do you remember when I said if the first short doesn't work, then I'm not shorting until blank? And do you remember all the TA that we did? Yeah, so there's actually still, out of like the 150 lions, roughly just on MEXC that longed around 39 to 42. Like 90 people still have longs aiming for that 50, 51, 52, man. Make sure you're caught up on the plan, y'all. JB Valorant says, what are the plans if we go above 52K? Same thing, Valorant. What is the conceptual plan? Always have levels identified. So what's the level after 52? And if you haven't done that yet, make sure you nerd out, Valorant. Let's get nasty. Get nasty. Briggsy, let's go. Come on. Quit playing with the math, y'all. Ali's Guilty is asking 52K soon. Well, it depends on what you mean by soon. But we've already done all the TA. Yeah, the thing is we're pretty well prepared. So if you want to know, like, where should I TP this long? Where should I think about getting into a short? How long could things take? Make sure you get caught up on all of the YouTube highlights from last week. It's Fibception, y'all. I don't know how many times we talked about Fibception. Fibception. We got the 6-6 lining up with the 6-6. Come on, Fibception. Vibe with me, y'all. Wouldn't that... What is that? We might get the 75786 after all, y'all. So whenever you get that coming up, you're going to immediately look for that. There you go. Alrighty. Get nasty, y'all. Come on. Everything planned out. Get caught up. Bugatti. Domzer says also TPOC at 50,915, and guess what, Domzer? That motherfucker's been there for quite a minute. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Do you remember when we were planning for that first short attempt? And what did we say? If that short attempt doesn't work, then where my next short attempt would be? Do you remember for the last 3-4 days last week when I was saying, how many longers are swinging for that home run at blank?
He just told us to be prepared.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so, I mean, whether it's pixel fucking, y'all. Quit playing with me. I mean, the fibception is there. We've talked about it all week, last week, if you remember, right? So we did all of that, and we, you guys already see the point of controls, and you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're getting there, Basically, I'm aiming closer to like the 51K, right? 51, 52, whatever it may be. Alrighty, and then just identify the levels. Make sure you know where the potential sweep levels could be. There's a sweep level on CME, y'all. So for me, it's pretty easily identifiable. This is what, let's do this. I'm gonna let Tuche up a little bit. And if you want to get caught up on maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday of last week's highlights, that should give you all the levels for the upside. But if you've been paying attention, it really wouldn't be that. I always stick to my plans, and I always, so there's different ways that you could kind of interpret the TA that we did. For me, I said I'm going to attempt a short here. And if I get stopped out, then my next attempt is here. From a different perspective, we talked about, how many Kimbagang Lion longers are going to be trying to hit for a home run at blank. So whether it was long TPs or the next short levels, interestingly enough, we've already planned for it. So I'm just chilling. But whether it was my short attempts or whether how we talked about the TPs for the longs, the next levels are pretty there, So if you don't know what it is, this would be a great time. You have some time to take a look at your next levels. So make sure you do it on Coinbase. Coinbase has some really interesting sweep levels, different from CME. Make sure you get the TPO levels. Make sure you get the volume levels. There's naked point of controls, like you guys are pointing out, for both time levels and volume. So, the next levels are pretty set. Dirty Z says, I got wrecked several times trying to short the bear div at key levels. That's okay, Dirty Z, but if you remember, there was a reason why I was only planning on shorting at where I did. And if I got stopped out, then I wasn't going to attempt any more. I'm waiting for the next level. So sometimes I can take a little bit of an L, but it also saves me from losing any more than I need to, if that makes sense. So yeah, for me, if you've been following along, I'm doing exactly what we prepared for like the last 3-4 weeks. Y'all know where my next sweep level is. I mean, even on my S&P long, you guys know where my TPs are, yes? Look at S&P. Let's get nasty. How many times did we talk about the Goldman Sachs and the Bank of America Merrill Lynch outlook? Can we get nasty, ladies and gentlemen? Today might be the day, y'all. But I love that you took those shots, Dirty Z. We got Mosley, Bearish Bull. We got Johnny Kingslow. Dirty Z says, yeah, it was just a small L, but I've tried it 3 times. That's all good, Dirty Z. I love that you took those shots, brother. Arkson says, I want to short this shit so hard. Well, as long as you planned for it, Arkson. But if you're watching this and you're getting triggered, what do we usually say? You're getting played. Yep. But Arkson, I mean, you know what my plans have been. I took the short attempt at 47, and I said, if that bitch don't work out, then I'm going to wait until 50, 51, 52. No reason for me to waste any more money. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. For me, like where I attempted the original short was it. And then if that wasn't going to work out, then I wasn't going to do anything until 51, 52. So it is what it is, baby. Should we get schwiggity, schwaggity, schwaggity, schwiggity, ladies and gentlemen? So is everybody good in terms of where I'm going to try to do my next short? Already identified in terms of where you might want to TP some longs. Already talked about it last week. And then the rest is just going to be looking at OI and CVD. So Kazaki says, do you agree that if we secure the all-time high, low golden pocket of support, it's hella bullish? No, that's probably what they want you to think, Kazaki-san. But at the end of the day, Kazaki, no one really can predict the future. Yeah, because even if it turned that golden pocket into support, I would be still waiting for like a bearish div at the top again. So, because here's the thing, Kazaki-san, we talked about it a lot, Kazaki-san, but you read the Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch outlook for 2024. I don't know how many times I've said that already, but does everybody at least know why we put this 5,000 to 5,100 S&P box and why my S&P long TP is at 5,100? And what the banks think will happen if we get there. So I think you know, as long as you have nerded out and you have all of the data and you're not gonna just go off of if it turns golden pocket as support as bullish, because I mean, think about how primitive and amoebic that kind of thought process is. You know what I mean? You got to have a little bit more complexity, I think. But yes, if S&P, I would say, Kazaki, if S&P does the big pullback after 51 and turns like 49 hundo into support or 40 or 49.50, then maybe. But just remember, make sure that you're caught up on what the bank said about the traditional market outlook, right? And you have FOMC in March and you have CPI tomorrow. So just think, these are all things that we talked about last week, Kazaki. I don't know if you're fully caught up on everything, but yeah, because, like I said, JP Morgan, all of these banks that are expecting for the 51 reaction to happen, it's based off of the FOMC rate hikes. So Jerome Powell wants to do 5 rate hikes. The banks think that he's only going to do 3. So it would start with the rate hikes in March, right? So imagine if he doesn't do a rate hike, or if he does do a rate hike, for example. What do you think that would do? Sounds good? Yeah, and remember, we spent some time doing Fibception. Why do you think it's doing that? So here's Fibception. All right, all the levels have already been identified. So yeah, if you skip a highlight or you miss a day, you're just gonna keep falling behind and behind. Yeah, we're about 2 weeks beyond talking about the 51 level episode. So if you really, really want to, you would have to start maybe like from 3 weeks ago. Yeah, but last week, episode 666, we were already talking about, hey man, if this 47 short doesn't work, were you here at least for the breakdown of the short that I was taking? Because we planned that out for about 2-3 weeks too. So during that whole planning phase, I said, if the 47 short doesn't work and it stops me out at 47.3, I'm not shorting again until 50, 51, 52. There's also, probably a couple of hours worth of us talking about how many people swinging for a home run long to the 50, 51, 52. So that's the kind of discussion that you want to get caught up on, okay? But there's probably close to 8-9 hours worth of analysis on that level. Alrighty, episode. We got Space Cash. Wolf Investing says amoebic LOL. You like that? You like that? Let's get nasty. Let's get nasty. Alrighty, but you see how I have my plans for love and peace. I don't know how many times I talked about how if my 47 short doesn't work, because you can imagine probably hundreds of people were asking, okay, if you get stopped out, are you going to try again? What about this level? I said, if my 47 don't work, I'm not shorting until 50, 51, 52. And that's just been, there's been no deviation from that plan. There's no if this, so I'm just chilling. I'm about to get nasty. Bybit has 50K exact touch. This is what I would say. Have you seen pixel perfect touches on exchanges? And when it does do that, what happens? Bugatti! Exxon Nori says, you mean no interest cut, right? He said already he won't raise again. So this is what I would say, Nori. I mean, clearly there's decades of data. But has there ever been a time when the chairman said that he wasn't going to raise, but then he did? And if so, how did the markets react? Make sure that you're not going off of observation. Make sure that you're going off of historical patterns. So there's going to be some traders that'll say, oh, he said, he won't raise again. So, but there's going to be other people that will go back and take a look at the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years and see, okay, was there ever a time where the chairman, the FOMC, there you go. Was there ever a time when the FOMC chairman said that he wasn't going to raise it or said he wasn't going to lower it and then he didn't do it? And if so, how did the markets react? And all you need to do is just know that, right? You would at least want to know that, right? And as long as you're exclamation prepared, then you're good to go. But imagine if you don't spend that 15 minutes to go back and take a look and you don't even know. Imagine if your effort level is just, I don't even care to know that. Bugatti, come on. Got to get those try-hard pants on, y'all. I'm going to dip around market close today. Tomorrow is CPI. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is CPI. And so I'm going to start the show early. We're starting the show early because CPI is early. How many of y'all will be there tomorrow morning? Who's excited for tomorrow's CPI and then next month FOMC? Whether you're bullish or bearish, it doesn't matter. You know those dates are going to be pretty exciting. Is that the right word? Stressful for some? Yeah. How many of you, I don't want to say understand the significance of the CPI tomorrow because that sounds big-headed, but how many of y'all think tomorrow's CPI is important to your trading strategy and how you're looking at the market for the next couple months? Because it's hella important for me. Not hella, it's not as important as the FOMC, but it's gonna get nasty, y'all. It's gonna get nasty.
My trainer, he told me.
Stressful is the word, yeah, but you gotta love that shit. And it's good that it's stressful because it means that you care. You know, it means that you care. So I'll take that. How to improve with being more patient with my trades. For me, the easiest answer would be just experience and frequency of exposure, just seeing it over and over that if you're more patient, you make more money. Maybe journaling is your way of seeing that the moments that you're more patient, you make more money. It's going to be two parts. One part is you're going to realize that doing the right thing makes you more money. The realization of actually realizing that, okay? The second part is the execution and the discipline to actually be able to do what makes you more money, even though it might be the harder thing to do. And isn't that really the breakdown in life? The shit that makes other people special, the people that makes other people successful is coming down to doing the harder shit. Just by definition, isn't that the weed out process where nature or fate says you deserve it, but you don't? The line where it's hard and it's easy. So I think maybe the first part is you start journaling trades where you FOMO and trades where you're patient and prove to yourself that when you're patient, you make more money or you have more money. And then the second part is actually doing what you're supposed to do. So that's what I would maybe say, something like that. Let's get nasty though. Hey, cheers, Latuche round 3. We're gonna get green. Who's greener? What's greener? The Latuche, my Latuche, your PNL, or our Bugattis? What's greener? My Latuche, your PNL, or our Bugattis? Ladies and gentlemen, cheers. I think the most important thing that we always have to reiterate is always trust yourself. Always go with what you think is best. It's your money at the end of the day. No one's going to care about you more than you're going to care about yourself. Alrighty. So you got to be honest. And if you're not sure or if you don't know what you're doing or fuck it, maybe if you are going to say, you know what, based off of this and what other people are doing, I might do it. Just be self-honest, but always have good risk management, okay? Regardless of why you're getting into a trade, you know exactly what your size is and you know exactly where your liquidation or stop loss is. So you should already be emotionally prepared for the worst case scenario. That's the bare minimum, I feel like, to being an adult doing this thing. And so you don't want to be the guy that gets emotionally triggered on something that you could have already prepared for. So make sure that you know exactly what your stop loss is and what you would, if it does get triggered, what your realized loss would be. And you should almost be thinking to yourself, thank God I only lost that much. Just like how if it does actually work out in juice, you should be thinking to yourself, fuck, I wish it was a bigger position. When you're saying those two things, I feel like that's the perfect spot and that's the perfect size. When you're juicing, you're wishing that it was bigger, and when you get stopped out or liquidated, you're thinking to yourself, thank God it wasn't that big. That's the size that you should always be playing, I think. If you're confused, then I think that's where you start with. No one knows at the end of the day what's going on. So don't just blindly trust other people. Roger, that most important thing. So let's get nasty into it. You can kind of break it down and simplify it. Even if you don't have the ability to do fibception, it's just go to daily, zoom out, and go from the 69 and do that. And make sure that you are aware of that zone and you are aware of that zone. And I think you would definitely want to be aware of volume peaks like that, volume peaks like that, volume peaks like that. And then you can load up Addis and get TPO levels. It's not going to work on the daily here, obviously. So let me do this, and go to like a 1 hour or 4 hour and have it loose. Alrighty, so everyone can kind of see where the point of controls and things are. Lots of confluence, okay? Lots of confluence, lots of math lining up, lots of, So Fibonacci, time-based levels, volume-based levels, fixed range volume profile, VWAP, anchored, major, minor, high, low. Yeah? Identifying levels is the easy stuff. What would give me the edge? I think especially with CPI going in tomorrow, I would love an initial debate scam pump to maybe fill me and stop out all the shorts that are getting in right now. You would have to almost blindly anticipate that kind of volatility because nothing on VIX or open interest or even unusual whale flow is suggesting such a thing. So I'm just kind of throwing that shit out there. But there is no data that would suggest that the initial debate move could be a scam pump. But that's what I would like. But some sort of structural, historically relevant pattern would be dope. Obviously, open interest squeezing would be dope. So I don't know. I would maybe like 180 to 120 million get squeezed. And a hidden CVD div. But like I was saying earlier, on the higher time frame, it might come down to a regular bear div that I want. So what do you mean when it's all-time high fib extension? Why? What do you mean, Madman? I didn't say anything about a fib extension. Not yet anyways. But the Fibonacci that I pulled was from 69 to 15. You talking about this one? Yeah, so I hope so that's it for the TA, ladies and gentlemen, and then you can really try hard and like do shit like me, like, identify the fibception shit, So, clearly for me, like somewhere between 50,800 and 51,000 is really interesting. The fibception takes us all the way through 52 to 53 kind of though. So there's a gap. Attempt number 2, attempt number 1. Attempt number 1, tight stop. Attempt number 2, tight stop type of shit. Alrighty. Steve Soul says, do you think ETF guys pumping the price because they already know CPI? Answer, no. I think ETH USDT is pumping because ETH BTC is mathing. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. I would have really liked this to just be down a little bit more and it could have been a hidden. Maybe there's still an opportunity where it hits the VWAP and the golden pocket. It rejects to sweep the 786, sweep that. Maybe that dump can give us a lower, you know, like, not that dramatic. Holy shit. And then that could be the hidden bull div activated on the daily. Yeah. But look at ETH BTC. You know, it's been up here. Look at ETH BTC. If it does the breakout and does like a bullish retest and builds, I mean, if you're in a ETH long, get nasty. Anyways, we already kind of threw out that 3,800, 3,900 number since it's a little bit of a shorter show today. I don't want to start to get sidetracked and like lose focus on the S&P and the Bitcoin levels today. I'm sure ETH is going to get nasty, but for me, and I've done this for the last 2 years, is when it's a big Fed day like tomorrow with CPI, for me, it's all about S&P and Biddy. And I'm sure ETH is going to get nasty, but I can only focus on, you know, I'm not smart enough to focus on 3 things. I can barely handle 2. So I'm going to have to focus on these 2 things. But yeah, let's get nasty. Do you think we'll get a flush before halving? Yeah, like I don't really know if those kind of questions truly contribute to anything that helps us with like trading and getting into positions. You know, who knows? I know that there's 7 to 9 significant levels through the method that we talked about, whether it's volume-based levels or time-based levels or Fibonacci mathematical levels or extensions or retracements, bigger time frames, smaller time frames, fixed range, visible range, volume profile, all that shit. Base that through that methodology that we just talked about, we already have 8 to 9 significant levels identified all the way from this 50 level to like 30, 31. So I have the levels identified, and depending on what the open interest and the CVD looks like, I will be down to long or short. And I'm going to just try to take like the easy ones, be patient with it and have fun with it. All right. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do even more spot selling. Ladies and gentlemen, let's regroup bright and early tomorrow. I'm going to start the show hella early, y'all. I want to get a good eye and see if I can get anything on the Bugammas and things like that before the markets release the CPI numbers. So, all right, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. The giveaways are going to continue to run, all right, even after the end of the stream, and they'll run all throughout, even if I'm here or not. All right, shout outs to everybody that's been here since the beginning when we first started doing giveaways almost 2 years ago, y'all. More than 2 years ago. Crazy. Love you guys. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. No, Sato, not yet. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. All right. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. Word? All right, stay safe. Nobody should be talking about, oh my God, I got wrecked. You got wrecked before CPI. If you're gonna lose money, at least go big and wait until CPI. Don't be goofy and lose all your money before CPI. I could understand if you go crazy and hyper aggressive on CPI. I got it. But getting wrecked before CPI, that's even goofier. Don't be doing anything like that, y'all. Stay safe. Love you guys. Have a great, nice peace, everybody. All right, Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss.